everybody. I'm Sam Rossi. And AJ, I asked AJ before this record
Hi.
if we wanted to do an episode of Killing or an episode of Mything. And he asked me what my episode of Killing was about, and if you don't listen to Killing, which is okay, that's okay, Killing 15 minutes isn't for everybody. But if you listen to the episode of Killing, which would air before this episode does, you'll find out about the lady in the wood chipper.
Wasn't that the name of the Forensic Files episode?
Maybe.
Was that an episode of Bones I'm thinking of?
Could be both.
You know, they did the blank in the blank or the blank at the blank.
Yeah, something
Sort of
like
titles like that.
Yeah, so AJ said that we needed to do Mything because it's more depressing and creepier.
We just want to end... I want to end today's record session with something light. Like a woman in a wood chipper.
We have been warned. Now let me pull up AJ's script here. Alright. This is going to be a minorly controversial episode. Unlike all we've covered before, these urban legends are really held up by a lot of people as real to an awkward level. We're talking covered by major media outlet level of it's real, bro. Also a trigger warning for self-harm, suicide, and actually we have this to your discretion for Killing 15 minutes.
Due to the graphic and disturbing nature of the crimes discussed, listener discretion is advised.
Thank you, pre-recorded Megan. You can hear her on Randomly 15 Minutes and Retro Static Radio.
Although Randomly 15 Minutes is currently on hiatus as she goes to school. Good luck, Megan.
So the internet. We've previously talked about creepypastas and the unfiction, that is fiction presented as non-fiction, especially in more public or intimate spaces like the internet, can lead to urban legends popping up even when they are in fact known to be fake. This is not that. Internet challenges are the cringy evolution of the standard dare concept. It's the penis game, but now easily accessible to millions of people. The penis game, for those not a teenage boy in the 2000s, or hanging out with teenage boys in the 2000s, is a dare game where you and your really stupid friends, and they were stupid, see who can say penis in public the loudest. Which, yes, is just playing chicken and making it everyone else's problem. Yes, it was. Please don't do this or any other challenges we talk about. It's fucking dumb, and many do actually have health risk attached.
As a teenage boy, I can confirm the militance of their stupidity.
Well...
Although I never did any of these challenges.
No, you did not.
Well, not true. There is one that we actually did. But go on. Don't worry, they're not all stupid. Most of them are. Just not all.
Okay. There's a lot. Like the cinnamon challenge was people filming themselves trying to eat a spoonful of cinnamon in under 60 seconds without water. It had health risks. And oh my god, my stomach is churning from that thought. There was the milk crate challenge where people would film themselves stacking milk crates and trying to climb it, resulting in injuries usually.
Yeah, they're stupid.
Oh my god. Tide Pod eating was a challenge. Planking was a challenge. There was one about eating bananas and Sprite in under a minute without puking, which was really stupid and posed health risk. There were some nice ones though, like the ice bucket challenge for ALS. Although many people did it for the content, not the donation. And the trash tag challenge, which was about who could clean the most garbage up out of a certain area, which was also nice.
See, there are some nice challenges. Like we did the bucket challenge.
We did do the ice bucket challenge.
Can't remember why. I think you did it
Dylan.
just for fun. Oh, you're right.
I was nominated by Dylan.
And I did it for the comic archivist, but that was back when I was living up on West Dom.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a bucket, so I had to use a salad bowl. Sorry. Anyways.
However, Then we get into the ones that are legit terrifying, such as the Benadryl challenge, which was teens taking dangerous levels of Benadryl so they could get high and hallucinate.
Yeah, that was actually a challenge, and not just how we lived our childhood. That is a joke, legally distinctively saying that is a joke. Our parents gave us the accurate amount of Benadryl. It was NyQuil they abused.
That is true. But I never hallucinated, maybe with that fever that one time. Okay. Back to the story. Maybe we can follow it. It led to several hospitalizations and a death of an Oklahoman.
Yes. Yes, that is the second part of the Benadryl challenge. People would take it to hallucinate and get high.
Right, which led to hospitalizations and a death in Oklahoman.
That was either a death in Oklahoma or a death of an Oklahoman.
I don't know.
Choose your adventure there.
Well, I took off my glasses to make sure I wasn't having a dyslexic moment.
Third base. Sorry.
Alright, where was I? Yes, even before big social media, between the late 90s and early 2000s, the CDC confirmed about 82 deaths related to these kind of games, and it only gets worse when you look at the blackout challenge on TikTok, which was the latest version of the game. It sucks. Parents, even if you don't monitor your kids' net activities like a weirdo, I'm a weirdo. I monitor your kids' network activities. At least have your kids smart enough to have a survival instinct. That is all we have to say on that.
We're not gonna get into.
Yeah, I hate reality too. So let's get to when moral panic led to fake hoaxes becoming public news to really muddle the facts. Firstly, the Blue Whale challenge. It is a weird one to go for. AJ has a minor rant potentially later about the fact that it was first reported by Russian news outlets in 2016, but he swears that there was a Blue Whale challenge or something very similar going through the U.S. around the 2000s. Around the 2000s as well. But let's try to keep one of these less than 20 minutes, so that's all he's going to say about that.
Which is why I'm trying to rush you along without over speeding.
Am I rushing or am I dragging?
Why did I throw a symbol at your head, Sam?
It would be a chair.
You're right.
The Blue Whale Challenge was a series of assignments or tasks that players would go on tasks per day for 50 days, and then at the very end, suicide. That's where things get muddy. There are suicides that colloquially link to the Blue Whale Challenge. The initial hysteria began with a suicide in November of 2015. And then moral panic over online forums and social media sites get into it, as well as a bit skewed information given that there's also a potential counterintelligence lean that also blame foreign operatives for brainwashing kids to kill themselves.
I know, right? So besides the fact that, again, this is all basically, there was the rumor about the Blue Whale Challenge, and then this Russian journalist dug into it, and then there were groups that were talking about the Blue Whale Challenge that they were into, but they also have a theory that it was actually foreign operatives, keyword U.S., because at the time the U.S. was not a Russian, whatever the fuck we want to call the U.S. right now. No politics, right, Sam?
No politics.
So, sorry, I'm burping like I'm slightly drunk. Okay, so, aliens. No, but they're turning the frogs gay, Sam.
I thought they were turning the frogs into dinosaurs.
No, they're turning the frogs gay. That's the whole Alex Jones joke. Because he went on this stupid rant about how they're turning the frogs gay. But anyways, no. So this Russian journalist also has sources that suggest it could be U.S. operatives who were actually trying to get kids to kill themselves using the Blue Whale Challenge. This became the catch-all for everyone's your standard moral panic. But because it was the internet, and parents were just realizing that the internet might stick around, they were pushing all of it's sort of the, oh my god, everyone's going to kidnap my child. Except, there's more evidence of that.
It was a global moral panic.
See, told you it was a global moral panic.
And while many nations did put out warnings and news outlets latched on, there were very few that were linked to any sort of challenges. But there's the hard part about this. Because like every sort of moral panic that happens, tons of copycat challenges and task lists will become prominent.
As in, the second that the news goes, hey, this is happening. Sort of like, to go with one that we may cover later just because I kind of love all the sex-based urban legends, like the gummy bracelets or the lipstick parties. I've gone to a lipstick party only because of people talking about lipstick parties.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's sort of the gummy bands. Did they actually mean anything? No, but then all of a sudden the news goes, hey, if she's wearing a rainbow, one of the gummy bracelets, clearly she's down to fuck. Or whatever the hell the thing was. You know what I mean?
I know what you're talking about.
As a 12-year-old, it turns into... The news is now saying it's a thing, so it gets into your head. Oh, actually, the next sentence also explains a very good chunk.
Most run by teen kids because they're stupid enough to follow it and stupid enough to think it's a cool idea to make one. See also why I was a part of a fight club in high school. Life imitates art, as it were.
The I in that sentence is me. I'm sorry. I try putting my name where it's me so that Sam's not speaking I's because I hate when she does that in Killing. But yes, I was also part of a fight club in high school. I blame Pigface for everything. Anyway.
Yes, there were some arrests made about it, but all of those arrests were after the media pushed and copycats, so kind of washed there. But no, there's no real proof it existed in any major capacity. And that leads to the sequel of the Blue Whale Challenge, the Momo Challenge. Boo, boo, boo.
Why are you booing?
I don't know.
Why are you booing? You know I'm right.
This was actually something that even affected us since Ezra was about 4 or 5 when this became a moral panic, and it was everywhere. The Momo Challenge was dumb. Okay, the basic layout is that there was a creepy meme picture floating around called Momo. This was kind of a chicken-headed, creepy-looking girl. Oddly, if AJ had any idea, it definitely was based off the yokai we talked about in our Slit-Mouthed Woman episode, giving her the creepy wide smile, bulging eyes, and black hair. It became a random WhatsApp messages of task out of the blue and a photo of the character. But mostly it seems to have been a bit of trolling that led out-of-touch parents thinking it was more than that, including one father who saw an in-game skin of Momo on his son's Minecraft and fearing it would become a thing. No, that has not directly linked to harm with Momo. Well, I'm sure there's people who totally know someone who got their soul snatched or something, or even somebody who did cause harm because of seeing it. Slender Man stabbing hysteria style more than the real thing. In a summary, the internet sucks. Let's burn it down. And that's how we're ending it.
So anyways, yes. I hated doing the research on this because I knew the Momo Challenge was complete bunk. I knew that because I was involved in the internet around 2018. I was still running in a lot of internet-heavy circles because I was doing other people's podcasts. I was doing the Comic Archivist. I was a somebody. I used to be a somebody.
Right.
But similar with the Blue Whale, I knew that was mostly bunk, but I didn't actually realize how global it hit. Like, Israel fully banned even the message Blue Whale. Kenya, there was someone that was linked to a suicide that was linked.
Yeah.
However, that really didn't come with any like definitive proof, except they started banning IP addresses that also used the name Blue Whale Challenge.
Okay.
There was a lot of, you could see a huge government reaction to it, but not a huge initial reaction. It wasn't like the Slenderman stabbing, like I said.
Right.
Like I brought up, which was taking the creepypasta and then making it a thing.
Right.
You know, it became a thing in this specific instance just because of how widespread it was. But again, I also swear to God there was a blue whale thing, maybe the blue room or something like that. I remember the red room things, and we do actually have a upcoming episode of Mything on red rooms. But those have nothing to do with the Blue Whale Challenge. But I swear to God, the Blue Whale Challenge or something similar was going along when we were in high school. At least in a rumor way, not in a, we're doing this suicide pact sort of thing. But no, the reason I hated this and why it was so depressing is, one, I always assumed that the choking, like the auto asphyxiation and the choking stuff, was overblown. Like, not that it didn't happen, but because you saw people, or things like Homicide: Life in the Streets, or Law and Order, or all the procedural shows trying to make it super... It was the Dare issue. Mm-hmm. Where it was like, you guys are going way too hard on this, that it cannot be as serious as you guys are making it out, because you're going so over the top with it. Does that make sense?
It totally does. I still can't believe Dare's a thing.
Oh, I know. I did not graduate Dare, because I had a blow up saying that everyone in the room is going to try drugs anyways. And guess what? 20 years later, I was proven fairly correct. Oh my God. No. It's only 18 years later, Sam. I'm not that old.
It's right, 17, because I'm celebrating my 25th this year.
You couldn't be celebrating your 25th. I'm only 3 years younger than you.
Sorry, I'm 20th. It's 25.
You're
25.
at 20. There's
know.
no 5. Fuck the
This
5,
year
Sam.
is-
20.
This year is 25. So my brain automatically decided that because the year itself is 25, that makes since I graduated, 25.
So anyways, you're welcome for people on Patreon who just heard that, because I don't think you're keeping it in here. Anyways, but that's sort of where it is. I swear there was something that was going around similar, even if it was the Blue Whale Challenge. I'm wondering if it is another issue of similar to the Bunny Man, where you had someone do a deep journalistic dive on the past of the Blue Whale thing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, that is what eats up all the previous assumptions and everything like that.
Right.
You know? But, again, the autoerotic asphyxiation. Wow, there's a Freudian slip there. But I always thought wasn't as prolific because, like, even on the 82 deaths that the CDC cite from 97 to 2007, I'm wondering how many were actually part of a game, like, linked specifically to a game, or if it was teens, because turn of the century, some of us were...
You had to experiment.
You had to experiment. There was a lot of people who did whippets and huffed fucking Freons solely on the grounds of they saw 13, I think that movie was, or some shit like that.
I don't know. I knew how to do weapons for Mom.
Well, that's because we did a lot of whip topping. It was a side effect, not a feature.
Yeah, it was a side effect of what we wanted.
But anyways, just like I knew the Tide Pod Challenge was bad, I knew, you know what I mean? There was a lot, I didn't realize how many challenges had come about that were huge. And it makes me slightly terrified of the internet.
I've been terrified of the internet since I started doing serial killers.
Oh, I don't want to say I'm not afraid of serial killers.
I'm not afraid of the serial killers.
Again, I think I bring it up in the one random shooter episode. Serial killers don't frighten me on a sub-level. Like, it's not the, oh man, what if my neighbor went crazy and killed me? Only because there's a tangibility to it. Where it's like, he could. However, I do know how, I have basic training in how to defend myself. There is a possibility I could survive to some extent.
Right.
On a random shooter, it's even like why ghosts don't really frighten me. Because it's one of those things of, well, actually, why ghosts frighten me more than serial killers. Because a ghost you cannot hit, there's no real defense for it. Depending on what supernatural hullabaloo you want to go with, there's no real defense for it.
Correct.
So if it wants to physically attack you, Enfield haunting style, I think it was the Enfield haunting, the girl got all scratched up and
I think
she was
right.
thrown across the room and everything like that.
I think you're right.
There's no physical body, so it's a Enfield poltergeist. I think that's what it is. But anyways, point is, the internet terrifies me on more levels than any physical human has ever. Because, and especially with the kids, it's the same reason we talk about in our Killing 15-minute bonus episode. We don't talk about kids a lot in that because I think every parent knows that their kid is their weak spot. It is not that they themselves can be weak, like some parents see. It's that they are their own individual person. You can tell them, hey, don't get into the fucking van, even if they have fucking Reese's.
Show me the Reese's.
That doesn't mean that in the moment they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to get into the van, sort of thing. You know what I mean? It's you do your best to set them up for success, but ultimately they could be kidnapped and left in a drain ditch.
A la Adam Walsh?
I've lost the plot here. The internet sucks, let's burn it down.
Alright, I'm Sam Rossi.
Please don't forget to, if you enjoy our show, please back. What do you keep pressing over there?
I'm not. I can't get freaking Facebook notifications to stop even after I signed out of Facebook.
That's because you haven't linked to your actual browser.
I've closed out that browser. It still goes through.
Scrap whatever the hell Sam just edited out. Go to the Patreon to find out what I just said. But yes, thank you for listening to us on Mything 15 Minutes. Listen to our sister shows Killing 15 Minutes, Blanking 15 Minutes, Randomly 15 Minutes, and Playing Over 15 Minutes. Because, hey, we want to burn down the internet, but please, we need money. I'm AJ Carey.
Later, y'all.
You're Sam Rossi.
I'm Sam Rossi.
Later, y'all.
Mything 15.
Keep on carrying on.
CAREY.
Right.
Because
Carry on production.